So, oh my goodness, this is going to be so fun. Hello, you
Hey,
guys.
hey, David, good to see you again.
Nice to see you. Thank you for helping Stacey out, and this will be
Oh,
exciting.
100%. I love it.
Yeah, so you guys, I'm so excited because I've actually talked to both of you individually about this $1 billion impact project, and now I'm like launching this event in January where it's going to basically be coming to life in San Diego. And it's really exciting because every time I get to like kind of uh, work with another person in being able to bring it to life, it basically like adds more kind of like velocity, and it brings it alive in such a big way. And so, David, I'd love for the people that are in my community that maybe I'd love you to maybe share who you are, and Yanik, you as well, and then we'll kind of like talk about January and what that's gonna look like for people.
Well, thank you, Stacey. Yeah, I'm David Meltzer, speaker, author, entrepreneur, investor. Uh, some people think legendary sports executive. I ran the most notable sports agency in the world. They made the movie Jerry Maguire about our firm, but I prefer my mission to define me today, which is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. And so the $1 billion impact opportunity is so aligned. I call it the little sister of my mission. And having people like Yanik and Stacey involved, people ask me all the time, how are you going to empower over 1 billion people? It's simple. I find 1,000 people like Stacey, 1,000 people like Yanik. They're going to empower 1,000 to empower 1,000. 1,000 times 1,000 is a million. 1,000,000 times 1,000 is a billion. That's a collective consciousness. And so humbly, as my name, David Meltzer, beloved servant, is how you actually can translate my name. I am a beloved servant to the earth, and humbly want to change the earth by helping people make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. Because I've never met anyone that makes a lot of money and helps a lot of people with that money and has a lot of fun with their life that isn't happy. So I'm in the right place. I also am in the right place because I always never like to be the smartest one in the room. So it's nice to know that I'm in the right room. Thank you both for joining me.
So
Man,
good.
David, you and I met many years ago, and I'm so excited that we get to reconnect now because what you just said, 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000. So I don't remember if I shared with you this, but my mission, my vision has been for 13 years now, and I thought it was a smaller version. It's really expanded. Is this idea of 1,000 suns lighting 1,000 suns, which then creates this multiplier effect, and then yeah, you add in another 1,000 of them, it creates that billion. And that's how we bring light to every industry, every category, every business, every organization in the world. And that's what, is really powerful. And it's not about me. It's not about you being the messenger to 1 billion people. Like it's that multiplier effect. And that's what I'm really interested in, is like, how do we empower these sons so that they are these multipliers, these other visionaries, entrepreneurs, leaders, creators. That's where the real magic is.
That's what I love about this, because like a lot of times when people have these big visions and big goals, they're doing it individually, and then everyone's like working on their own, trying to like make it happen, right? Whereas we're like, no, let's like, you have this vision, you have this vision, I have this vision, let's bring it together. And how could we actually do it collectively? So I was actually saying like right before this call with our good friend Jennifer Hill and Yanik, as we're like planning another event that we're doing in a couple weeks, is the $1 billion, billion people is almost like a small number, as we're like building the energy and the speed around what we're doing. And that's kind of like, I kind of want to talk like just for a couple minutes about like this old way of doing business being dead, where like we're doing it alone. We're doing it through hustle culture. I mean, I love to hustle, believe me. Like I love to work hard. I mean, sometimes I'm at my computer from like 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. So I definitely don't want to like bash hustle culture, but I think hustle culture is known as doing it alone, right? And in your own like silo. And then the other thing is like the competition that used to be like people used to compete against each other. Now we're talking about collaboration at the highest level. The other way of like the old way of doing business is like, people being private. I know I was there. I owned a staffing company for 20 years, built that company to $35 million and never once went online. I was not visible at all. And I feel like now for us to really be the leader that we want to be and like be in this transformational zone, it's being visible and not being scared to put ourselves out there and being able to be more transparent about what we're doing. And so that's the event that we're doing in January, is really kind of like showcasing like different people that are doing really like tremendous things, both, you know, in the world and then also for their organizations and for their businesses, and then bringing this $1 billion impact project at the forefront, because it's the vehicle that's going to help people raise money, make money. So just kind of wanted to add that in and see kind of what you guys' thoughts about that.
Well, I think you're on point. There's been an inverse expansion of how we coordinate, collaborate, and cooperate with one another. When we look at just in history, the source, your God, I'll call it, and your God is the source, and he commands us, something bigger than us that's an infinite, abundant, unified system that we all belong to. And so in the past, because we didn't have the ability to expose or create awareness with a total addressable community of 7.6 billion people, we had to work within our individual silos, where today we're actually creating communities that are their own silo, a like frequency, a neighborhood, expanding and accelerating, aggregating and compounding outcomes through an infinite amount of opportunity, options, and touches of favor, while still being protected, promoted, loved, and perfected by our God, our source. And so I think it's really important for people to understand that we are all now community builders, and our communities can be of different sizes, shapes, and beliefs and frequencies. But if you're not focused intentionally, as chairman of the Napoleon Hill Institute, to be definiteness in our purpose, that we want to be aware of the social silo today, not having to silo ourselves. And the silos will be amplified by technology. The more people feed into your silo, the more the silo will feed into your community. That's just how social media works in the total addressable community that is unfathomable work. So I encourage everyone. I will tell you, I coach a lot of, billionaires and executives at the highest level. And they call me, Dave, can you help me get 1 million followers? And I said, that's really not what I do. I said, and they'll fight me on it. Why would, how can you help it? And I had one billionaire real estate guy, he made my heart sing. He said, Dave, I get it. He goes, can you help me get seven followers in my community? And I said, now you're talking. Tell me about these 7 followers. He said, I have 7 $5 million villas in Exuma. Can you find me 7 followers that will buy these 7 $5 million Exuma villas? And I said, now you get why we have a total addressable community and how we create our own social silos in our own community. So that's how I think it's inversely changed over the years.
So good.
I love that, I talk about, like, it's not how many followers you have, but how many leaders are you helping create, right? Like, it's that to me is not even interesting, right? Like how many followers you have, like that's even like the terminology, right? Because words are so important. And it's like how, that idea of like the Russian nesting dolls, right? I think David Ogilvy used to send out a note, a very famous ad man, to all his team members when they were hired, or at least high executives. And it was about, send the Russian nesting doll, and it says, if we hire people that are smaller than us, we'll become a group that's smaller and smaller. But if we hire and bring and train people that are bigger, then we just become these giants. And the Russian nesting dolls are really part of that. Stacey, if you're okay, I want to share a quick little drawing.
Oh yeah, if
Let me see if I can find it. So I don't use this thing very often. So hold on.
I'm impressed, Yanik. I'm impressed. I use this thing every day. I don't know how to do what you're about to do.
I'm getting very. Hold on. Let's see if this works. No, this is not it. All right, forget it. I might not be able to do it. Okay, that's okay. But it's an illustration talking about world bridgers, and that's what I'm really seeing. So this idea of like bridging different worlds, right? Entrepreneurs who are able to bridge the world of business, but then also, let's say, spirituality, and bringing all these worlds together. So where the old game was like that zero sum competitive, it's just me, and if I don't get it for me, then it's a win lose. But how do the bigger game is this win 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 win? Like, it's not just a win for, like, that was the old, even the Covey thing, right? A win-win deal. Yeah. But now it's really a win-win-win-win-win. And I love constraints, which is really interesting, because like most creative people are like, well, I want complete blue sky. I want a blank canvas. But really, if you start with a constraint, and the constraint is it has to be a win for every party, every stakeholder, and that includes the earth, it includes the community that you serve, it includes, everyone, then it gets really, really interesting because now you're making decisions from that point, and then the intentionality changes. So to me, business business has the greatest levers for making a difference in the world. And that's where it's really exciting. You have your supply chain, you have your talent within the organization, you have your leverage of the actual product or service, your distribution, your voice. And that doesn't even count, capital or making investment into any charity or anything like that. But there's so many lever points, and that's where it's really exciting. And customers, communities really want to buy from companies that have a greater mission and purpose. And that's that outside in. And then inside out is your team members want to work for a company that has a greater purpose.
I want to add to Yanik that they not only want to buy from, but they want to sell for, which is a legacy that creates this sustainable growth that creates all great opportunities for all. So I'm super excited about the January event and can't wait to lend my services and community to get the exposure to the $1 billion impact that is happening in front of us and already has happened, which is beautiful.
So good. And yeah, who we want in the room for this event is we're going to be inviting those of you that have nonprofits or you have something that you want to raise money for that's impactful in the world. You're a corporation and you're a CEO, C-level executive, and you're wanting to give a bigger purpose and impact for your employees, your team, your leaders, or you're an entrepreneur, creator, and you have a product service offering that you want to put out and be able to put it in this thing, because one of my goals is to even do these like fun breakout sessions where we can connect all the people together and we all have something the other needs. And now we're going to have the vehicle to put it out. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on and sharing. I love getting to add the energy around it. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to listen back because I feel like there's a lot of pieces in here that I'm excited to.
Well, I also have some special offers too for anyone that would like to come to the event. Email me and I will send a copy of my book, Pay for Shipping, and the book for anyone that signs up for the event. And I know Stacey also has a special auctions side of what we're going to do that if you're interested, please ask her about. But Yanik, most importantly, I'll be down in San Diego on the 8th speaking at the Limitless event with Jim Quick. Maybe you can swing by and I can give you a hug and we can get caught up.
I have some friends going. I have I'm taking my son back to college, I think, on that.
Oh, right on. Where's he go?
He goes to Georgia. And
beautiful.
State right now.
I'm speaking in Atlanta on the 11th. I'll be in the Aspire. I'm doing that whole tour with those guys.
Oh, nice. So yeah, we need to re-catch up because there's so many things here. And I love Stacey that for bringing us back together and being this connection point. And I love
you, Stacey.
Napoleon Hill Foundation and this Don't Do Business with Dicks. That sounds really, really interesting.
I finally got a title that will sell. Same stuff inside the book, just a good title that will sell. Compassionate Capitalism wasn't a head jerker, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but that's the inside part, and that's what is that's
thank you guys so much. I got to jump to take my son as well.
So great, thank you. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye everyone. Come to the event.
Yeah, come to the event.
So good. Thanks, Mike.
All right, bye.